Hi, this is a C-Class Mercedes, a W203 engine 271, and I'm going to demonstrate how to change these gaskets. Over here, I've got oil leaking into the spark plug compartments. Right, just take the cover off. You just need to pull it upwards. Right, now to remove these coils, there are two E8 screws, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you want to unplug the terminal that feeds the coil, 1, 2. Although these are interchangeable, sometimes it's a good idea to mark them just in case you have a fault with one of these coils and then you know which cylinder it came out from. Right, depress that tab, slide this out, and now you can remove it. Right, unclip this at the back. Release this clamp. Right, release this. Right, using an E10, I open the screw over here. Right, then there's a cable tie over here. Right, this wire over here is a bit tight, so the only way I can release it is by taking this back panel off. There's a heat shield here, and I've loosened it. This is a T20. Right, so I just loosened some of these T20 torque screws, and by loosening this, I've created some free play. If you have a look at where it's plugged into, it's there at the bottom, and I can't unplug it. Right, there's a hose here which you can loosen, and you can see this wiring harness is pretty loose. Now, to get this cover off, you just need to remove these screws. The harness does run there, and this is pretty tight. So there is a screw at the back which you can loosen. The correct way would be to remove the air intake. If you want to see how to remove the air intake, I've got a video showing how to do the fuel injectors, and in that video I show how to take the air intake out. But in this case, you can just loosen one screw here, just to loosen this cable over here. And I'll show it to you now. Right, so over there is a T25 screw. So if you loosen that, this cable here can loosen. Right, so I've loosened that. I didn't pull the screw out completely because just loosening it is fine. All I need to do is lift this up. Now, just be careful that you don't snap this or break the plastic. All you got to do is just lift it like that. And it's loose enough to get this cover off, although the correct way would be to remove this entire housing here. So now all I need to do is remove this pipe here. And then there's just one clip hiding here on the side, which you can slide out. Okay, as you can see, I've loosened this clip. I've taken it off the valve cover. Right, unscrew there and there just to let this move a bit. The screw doesn't actually come out. And there's two screws here which allow the air intake to move a little bit. 1, 2. Then remove this will help. Then you'll see a screw over here. You open this. Right, now you can slide this pipe off the intake. Right, which will allow this to move a bit. Right, all you need to do is remove all of these cover screws. These are E10. Right, there are 12 E-torque screws. Right, with the flat screwdriver, gently pry this open. Now you should be able to squeeze this out. Yeah, that's better. Lastly, I just forgot about this hose. Right, that hose is off now, and now I can remove the cover. Right, that should be sufficient in order to remove the cover now. Right, there's the old cover. There you can see it, it started leaking on the side there. There as well it was leaking. There on the side there, obviously that whole compartment there is leaking. This one was leaking, but the back two were still fine. So it was definitely leaking more towards the front. So now it's time to clean up and fit the new seals. Right, it's time to remove the old seals. Just be careful of taking a screwdriver and doing that because you might snap the plastic. Best to take a pliers and pull it out. See? Right, now I take thinners, a brush, and I clean it. Right, before seating the new gasket, what I do is I just take some thinners, I take a screwdriver like this, I wrap it in a cloth, I dip it in thinners, and I just go around one more time just to make sure there's no oil in these crevices. And you can see even after having a thorough clean, you can see there's still oil because you can see the color of this is still oily. Right, now you need to clean the head very well. And as you can see on mine, look at that, that is totally full with oil. So I need to get that oil out. It's best not to let that fall into the chamber. Right, so I'm just putting a pipe in there. And then on the other side, I'm going to pump it and pump the old oil into this glass container. Right, now you can just clean it. Right, I removed these 4 spark plugs because I want to clean inside and also inspect them, seeing that there was such a bad oil leak. I'm cleaning inside here and then I'm going to close it. A toothbrush is useful. Now usually you put some gasket maker there on the edges, there, and there, but judging this bend here, it's not very acute and it doesn't look like there was any gasket maker here before. I'm just going to put a little bit there and just a little bit here. I just put this as a precautionary measure, but as I said, it's not mandatory. Right, now when you're putting the cover on, be careful not to slide it on the oily parts. So make sure you get it in place and then you drop it down. You don't want to put any oil on any of these surfaces now. Right, now it's time to put these screws in, and I just put one small drop. You do not have to put nut locker. This is the blue type. Right, the tightening sequence is as follows. Starting from the middle, right, so the tightening sequence, there, 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 there. So you want to tighten in a way that it's spreading it like that. So don't start on the outer section, start in the middle and move outwards, going opposite to opposite. Right, let that seat for 10 minutes, then come around again and retorque it to 10 Newton meters. Do not tighten these above 15 Newton meters. 10 Newton meters is sufficient. Right, so that's cylinder 1, and you can see how clean it is in there. I've sorted it out. That's cylinder 2, also being cleaned. Cylinder 3 and cylinder 4. Now it's time to put the coils back. Right, it's time to put all the connectors back. Right, there's a clip there, insert it. Seat that there, join the pipe back here at the back. Right, 2 screws here. Seat at the bottom first. Reseat the wires. I use a contact cleaner. This is not oil. This is a contact cleaner, deoxidizes the terminals. Put the pipe back in. Note the travel position here. Goes around there, there, and to there. Right, plug in that. One at the back there. Rethread this wire here and put the heat shield back on. Now in my case there was oil all over here, so I've opened this up and I've cleaned it, and now I just spray some contact cleaner. If you want to put Loctite on these screws, you can. You do not need to put a lot, and if you do, just use the blue one. If you want to torque this is no more than 10 Newton meters. Right, just feed the hose back in there, and this thing slides over there. Right, while you're here, just check the condition of the wires. Check that there's no oil residue here. Just inspect the cover right now, and then you can close up and you're done.